With eyebrows furrowed while worrying over his fiance's recent schedule and him not caring about his health as casually made Ryan to curl up on the couch nearby, almost living alone in this mansion without her favorite person for the past few months. Ryan had no choice but to either confront Jungkook about the mess or to give a silent treatment. Her fiance Jeon Jungkook has always been in public eye since he debuted as a mere side role in his first K-drama when he was barely 23. Ryan knew Jungkook since they were pretty good friends in high school, and from the start she was well aware of him being the apple of everyone's eye. And why won't he be? He was handsome, humble, hardworking, and easy to go with. And Ryan loved him to her core for that. But what she didn't like a single percent is how careless he is about his health. The thought of giving his best never leaves his mind, causing him to sacrifice everything about it. That's what he's been doing these past months. Jungkook cherished Ryan above all else, and he considers her his lucky charm. Ever since he met her in his teenage years, he had been struck by her charm and beauty, and he couldn't imagine his life without her by his side. He was grateful for her support and understanding, especially in the early days of his career, and he credited her for his success as an actor. They had been dating for 5 years, and Jungkook knew that she was the one. And with pure trust, he finally gathered up the courage to propose to her. She said yes without hesitation, making each other complete. Jungkook had already conquered the hearts of millions of fans worldwide with his latest role in the ongoing drama series that proved to be a turning point in his career. A cliched office romance, Jungkook played the role of a CEO with a unique and charming persona that charmed both the audience and his co-stars alike. He poured his heart and soul into his character, bringing it to life on screen in a way that no one could have imagined. The fans showered him with love and admiration for his performance, making him one of the hottest topics in the drama world. With only a few episodes left to end the drama with a happy ending, Ryan was deeply concerned about Jungkook's well-being, worried that his unwavering commitment to his work was compromising his health. She knew how much he loved acting and how invested he was in delivering commendable performance. But she also knew that the strain of constant filming and strenuous hours on set could take a toll on his body. Despite Jungkook's assurances that he was taking care of himself, Ryan couldn't shake off her worry. She did all she could to ensure that he was getting enough rest and eating well, but her efforts seemed to do little to alleviate her concerns when she wasn't able to get in contact with him for the past 2 days. Ryan knew how he could risk himself for his work, making her more worried than she ever could be. In this matter of 2 days, she only got to talk to her fiance for mere 3 to 4 minutes because every time she did, it was either his manager or some random crew member. Even though Ryan loved to support her fiance's work, especially his drama series, she couldn't deny the fact that the romantic scenes made her a bit uncomfortable. As a mature and understanding partner, she knew that it was all part of his work life and that the scenes were necessary for the plot, but she couldn't help feeling a twinge of uneasiness whenever she watched him share on screen intimacy with another woman. Despite her best efforts to shake off the feeling, it lingered in the back of her mind, gnawing at her like a thorn in her side. She loved Jungkook too much to let her petty jealousy get in the way of their relationship, but she couldn't help feeling a pang of sadness whenever she saw him exchanging longing glances and tender touches with his co-star. Still, she was determined to support him and cheer him on from the sidelines, even if it meant masking her true feelings and putting on a brave face. After all, she knew that Jungkook's happiness and success was her happiness and success, and that was all that truly mattered in the end. She knew Jungkook from her heart and trusted him with all this. The clock struck 12:24 a.m. when Ryan's attention darted to the doorbell, echoing in the chilly silent atmosphere. She quickly hopped to the door and opened it, just to come face to face with the tired Jungkook, smiling weakly. "Hey," he almost whispered and quickly hugged her, resting his face in the crook of her neck. She melted right away, but had to gather all her act together and decided to be distant. Maybe that's what it'll take him to be on the right track again. Sweetie, don't tell me you were still waiting. He asked in a calm manner, not wanting to sound serious, but still managed to let out the words in a stem way. Wyatt looked up at him and saw his tired face, now being concerned as well. She didn't like how cold she's trying to be, but she can't help it as well. Have you eaten dinner or not, Jungkook? Now she sounded cold as ice, making Jungkook a bit upset from the unexpected change in her behavior. He knows how talkative she is and can never sound this serious until she's hurt. Did I do something? Jungkook thought. Is there something serious, Wyatt? Are you sick anywhere? Yes or no, Jungkook? That was it. Jungkook was not only hurt about the fact that she didn't even smile once ever she was in the house and now being so cold and serious. Why are you being like this? Now he held her by her shoulders in a tight grip. Can I ask you the same thing? Was all she said in response now, making Jungkook know that he did something pretty bad to get interrogated like this. I'm sorry, Ryan. Raising an eyebrow as a reaction, Ryan tried to maintain her composure as best as she could. Do you even know the reason why you're being sorry for, Jungkook? Maybe I don't know the reason, but I know for sure that I've screwed up big if you're calling me by my name and not with those cute ones. Jungkook smiled while poking her cheeks, but Ryan took one step back now, being more annoyed than before. I'm being serious, Jungkook. My sincere apologies for my actions, lady, that caused you to be this angry. I'll try to not repeat it again. At this point, Ryan knew that it was of no use, so not caring to even give a mere response, she went in the direction of the kitchen while letting out an exaggerated sigh, but Jungkook quickly stopped her in mid-trance. Ryan, look at me. Why are you doing this? Did I do something? Even though her behavior right now seems to frustrate him, he tried to be soft with his tone. When will you start looking out for yourself, Jungkook? Answer me honestly. How much did you eat in the past 2 days? Ryan's eyes were glued on his figure, whereas he tried avoiding her gaze on him. He knew where he was at fault now and how can't escape. I can't remember. At this, Ryan scoffed, earning a wide-eye reaction from Jungkook. You can't remember because you didn't even eat anything. I bet except those ugly looking salads, you didn't got time to waste it on eating. As much as her words were rude, but both people knew how true it was. Jungkook looked down and in no matter of seconds he started crying. He was okay with every shade of him around her, so crying and being vulnerable whenever he felt guilt and hurt weren't new for Ryan. She knew maybe she could have given some time to him before all the lecturing, but the sooner the better. Ryan reached out with open arms and pulled him close, wrapping him in a warm and embracing embrace. It was a comforting sensation that filled the space between them. She patted his back from time to time, and after a minute or two, he gazed at her with eyes brimming with tears, nodding slowly as she spoke. You speak truths that pierce my heart, my love, he chuckled, his voice choked with emotion. I am all too aware of your dislike for the sacrifices I make in the name of my work. I know my passion runs deep, and I find it difficult to put aside my efforts, even for my own well being. I'll try to be better next time. I swore on my black sweater. Ryan laughed, making her husband now less tense and cozier than before. Is that it? Now, am I allowed to see my fiance? Ryan appeared to be confused at his question. Huh? Was all she could respond when he said with a straight face, My sugar plum pookie, Ryan. And with the remark, Jungkook teased Ryan and got a tight slap on his arms as her answer. Ew, Jungkook, ew. I told you to stop addressing me with it. She cringed hard at his words and was doing her best to be out of his grip. That was your punishment to be this strict to me. Ryan just gave him a terrible side eye, making him let out a hearty laugh. Listen, I'll get freshen up in a bit and you go set up everything so we can watch the latest episode. Okay, babe? As Jungkook's words fell upon her ears, Ryan felt a pang of unease erupt within her. She remained motionless as her insecurity and fear consumed her, her fingers idly fidgeting in a nervous manner. As Jungkook moved towards the staircase, his gaze lingered upon her form. and he returned to her side with haste. And in an encouraging way, he gently shook her shoulders, imploring, "Is everything okay? You don't seem happy with the idea." "Jungkook, I'm not in the mood to see it," Ryan said nervously, earning a questionable expression from her man like he needs her to explain further. "You never said this before. It's strange. Do you not like my drama?" "It's okay, Ryan. You can give your criticism. You know I crave for it." "Hmm?" Jungkook asked, holding her face by his finger to make her look at him. "Taeyang will confess to Seoha today. Remember, you said how much you hate the production for making Seoha suffer this much? So finally she'll hear his confession for her." Jungkook smiled softly at her, which made her feel even more guilty than before. She trusts Jungkook and she'll bear aware, no matter how much he gets into the character, but he still and will always adore her. But who is to blame? She's like every other girl who's insecure about little things, especially when his well-loved fiance is having such good chemistry with an ethereal-looking actress she has ever witnessed. Jungkook noticed her uneasiness and kissed her cheeks, saying, "You want me to call you Sugar Plum Pookie again?" To which she quickly shook her head in disapproval. "Then what is it?" She now has no other choice but to confess how stupid and insecure she feels right now when she should be thanking God for having a partner like him. "Have you ever felt a spark with Soya on the screen?" she asked in a low, unsure voice. "Ridiculous. Have you ever felt a spark with Soya on the screen?" she asked in a low, unsure voice again. He wasted no time to assure her back. "You know very well I only have my eyes for you," he said in a louder tone, making sure she heard it clearly. "I understand you, but how can I not feel insecure when I'm well aware of the fact that you work on the set every day with literal goddess?" Why tried speaking without having to cry when Jungkook took her face in his hands, gently holding it. "And for me, the only goddess is you." Ryan smiled cheekily in between, on the verge of crying, and whined over Jungkook for being so cheesy again.